Baby, be in love with your fantasies. I can be a star, make a tie so bright. Welcome to my dungeon, this is ecstasy. Let me play the fantasy.
What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Asia.
And it's your boy, BJ. And we back like we never left. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Now, we got a really good one today that we're going to be jumping into. Now, we're about to be checking out Will Smith making a public apology just in regards to the Oscars slap heard around the world. Was it heard around the world? I said, was it heard around the world?
It was heard around the world, okay. Especially because the mic was on and you can hear it all around the world.
Yeah, you can. But this is very, very serious now. This is very, very serious. We got to get in our serious mode.
Okay.
Because he's actually making an apology to Chris Rock regarding that slap.
I feel like he owes him an apology.
You think so?
I do. I mean, granted.
You think so?
I think in the moment of like everything that kind of transpired, he was heated, and maybe his reactions were from an emotion that was already kind of festering inside of him already, you know, but something between him and Jada maybe that people really don't know about. And you have another man on national television disrespecting her, you know, on top of everything else that kind of transpired, like just not too much sooner before this happened. So perhaps this man had a lot of emotions running and a lot of thoughts and a lot of things running through his head, and the fact that you have another man up there that's talking about your wife, I don't know. I don't think there are a lot of men that would just sit there and allow that to happen. I mean, granted, he is who he is. They were at where they were at, but I feel like that could have been Bobby Joe. And if Chris Rock would have said that about his wife...
Yeah, we could have been at Applebee's, and if you said
you know what I'm saying? Bobby Joe would have got up and did the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of fact that it was Will Smith and not Bobby Joe. You know? But let's see what he has to say.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's go ahead and check it out.
I feel like it's one of the things you do and you just regret later. For sure, you regret later. Like, even, you know how you say something to somebody and it's just like, dang, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
You know, obviously because it made me look like a complete ass at the end of the day. I showed my ass and then now I look like a complete fool.
Right. Yeah.
Because of it. So it's just one of them things that you don't think about in that moment. But after the fact, it's like, man, I should not have done that. I really shouldn't have. You know, I could have handled it differently. So, and I think a lot of people probably could say they've had a lot of those moments in life.
That they could take back?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
All right, let's go ahead and check it out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk. I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I saw an interview that Chris's mother did, and you know, that was one of the things about that moment. I just didn't realize, you know, I wasn't thinking, but how many people got hurt in that moment. So I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I want to apologize to Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock. You know, we had a great relationship. You know, Tony Rock was my man. And this is probably...
Who's Tony?
Tony Rock is Chris Rock's brother.
Okay.
He also does stand up.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Was my man, and this is probably irreparable. I spent the last 3 months replaying and understanding the nuances and the complexities of what happened in that moment. And I'm not going to try to unpack all of that right now, but I can say to all of you, there is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment. There's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way to handle a feeling of disrespect or insults.
I'm kind of glad he said that, like, just right off the cusp. He's already kind of saying, like, there is no possible way in regards to, like, just his, his mentality in regards to just doing something like that in the spur of the moment, like recanting it, like, no, like, that's not the way to handle it. Even though, like, we just sat here and talked about, you just talked about it right before that in regards to it, but, like, after he had an opportunity.
I understand how he could feel
about that. It's almost like, to me, like what Will Smith did, like, in that moment. It's almost like, like, it's like a crime of passion. When something happens and it's like you don't think because you're going off of the emotion of what was said or what was done.
It's an emotional reaction to something.
So your mind is fogged and you're just going off of that emotion of what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
But right now, just sitting here listening to Will Smith and really me, like, looking into his eyes, like, I can really see, like, like, the truth there. Like, you can really see, like,
I
the
definitely feel like
he's
very sincere.
Yeah.
He's very sincere. And it almost looks like he's hurt.
He's
very hurt. Just by looking in his eyes, he looks hurt.
Looks like he took a lot of time to, like, do, like, some soul searching, because he said he took like 3 months to just try to unpack all of this.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad that he did, because if you would have just came out like a week later and tried to, like, do a sit down and apologize, it'd have made it seem like you're just trying to cover your tracks. But with him taking time to, like, sit down with it, and
yeah,
I feel like just taking the time that he took, and now to come out to say something, I'm like, okay. Like, I can see, like the contriteness. I can see, like, the sincerity.
Yeah.
Let alone if it had came out like a week or 2 or 3 right after he slapped the mess out of Chris Rock,
Yeah.
After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something? No. It's like, I made a choice on my own, from my own experiences, from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry, babe. I'm going to say sorry to my kids and my family for the heat that I brought on all of us. To all my fellow nominees, this is a community. It's like I won because you voted for me. And it really breaks my heart to have stolen and tarnished your moment. I can still see Questlove's eyes. It happened on Questlove's award, and it's like I'm sorry really isn't sufficient. What would you say to the people?
Wow, and I can see that, like, hands down, just in regards to, like, almost like you overshadow people's moment. Like, this was a very, very important moment for a lot of people that's, like, receiving an Oscar. Some of them receiving it for the first time, and then how, like, this incident happened right before Questlove comes on the stage to accept his own award. Like, I can see how that can, like, completely, like, overshadow somebody's moment. So that makes it even worse to a degree, where he's saying, where you feel even more guilt and even more regret, because now it's like, this one emotional moment is, like, overshadowing, like, the most important moment in some people's careers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
People who looked up to you before the slap, or people who expressed that you let them down. So there's two things. One, disappointing people is my central trauma. I hate when I let people down. So it hurts. It hurts me psychologically and emotionally to know I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me. And the work I'm trying to do is I am deeply remorseful, and I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself, right? I'm human, and I made a mistake, and I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit. So I would say to those people, I know it was confusing. I know it was.
Wow. You see his eyes, how he's saying, like he's almost want to cry to a degree. He almost want to cry.
Those people, I know it was confusing. I know it was shocking. But I promise you, I am deeply devoted and committed to putting light and love and joy into the world. And, you know, if you hang on, I promise we'll be able to be friends again.
Wow. What do you think?
It's really it makes me sad. It makes me sad to see him in that state. I mean, he got a lot of backlash behind it, like, in terms of like the Oscars or not being able to come. Like, did they ban him from coming, or did they take away his award, or there was something that they did that was pretty significant?
I saw something in regards to that, but I'm not sure if they took the award, but I know there was something in regards to they were going to vote about it.
Something about, yeah, something that, I mean, like, regardless, they banned you, they took your award, they said you can't come back here, you don't go here, whatever it is.
That's not even the worst part.
Like, I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, that would hurt somebody, especially when you got somebody as big as Will Smith, like, who has been, like, for a lot of us adults, even, like, childhood, awesome actor that grew up with us. You know what I mean? So to see him kind of act out like this with this type of behavior, it was a little bit, it was confusing because we've never seen him really be that guy. But you also have to wonder, like, what is it that potentially made him that upset to have that type of emotional reaction to physically assault someone?
And kind of with you touching on that in regards to like him and his background, kind of where he come from. Like I've seen him sit down and do like interviews and talk about like his background and talk about like his upbringing, like the household that he grew up in with his mom and his dad, and all the things that he had to do as far as like working through like some of his own childhood traumas and things, things of that nature. But yeah, like just seeing how contrite he was and apologetic, like part of me is like, dang, like Will Smith and Chris Rock, like they're some of our great like comedians and actors, and to see them like have this type of moment on like one of the biggest stages, on TV. Yeah. Like at first when you saw it, it's like, oh yeah, like, but when you sit back and just digest it, you're like, it makes your stomach hurt to a degree, just like seeing Will Smith kind of go through it, because you can see like when he said that, like he doesn't like letting people down, and for him to feel like he let his wife down, or
kids down,
and
Chris's mother, like I that's really big of him to do that.
All of them having to like deal with that, not just Will and Chris, but everybody around them.
And the industry itself, like Chris Rock is an entertainer. He's a comedian. He's cracking jokes. It's just it comes with the territory. But I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like it's a fine line. When you're talking about somebody's family, and then not only that, but Jada really does have health issues. Like, she's had problems with you know, her hair and stuff like that for
they call it alopecia.
Yeah, for a very long time. Like I don't want to refer to it by the wrong. That's why I'm saying the sickness. I don't know if it's a disease, if it's an illness, if it's a infection. I don't know. I don't know what particularly. So I'm trying to be respectful by saying that. But I mean, like I said, it's like it's almost like making fun of somebody's autistic child or disabled mother. Yeah. Like come on.
Anybody that has the illness,
can't do that.
Like somebody that has leukemia in their ball,
Absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely.
It has that same effect.
Right. Yeah. So I feel like anybody who is directly, you know, attached to something like that or affected by that would have had the same internal anger. Like, how freaking dare you? Okay, I have to watch my mouth. Like, how freaking dare you?
That's how he said it.
Cross the line and say something like that when you know that this is what's going on.
And
you know what I mean?
He particularly said in regards to me and Chris's history, because like they do have a history.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like other things that were said and just them knowing each other. So yeah, that's very important to know.
Yeah.
That you said that too.
So I mean, essentially, I'm just like I feel like he definitely feels regret, definitely feels remorse for what he did, his actions. Like I said, it's one of those things where you know, like, damn, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have. Like, everything that you wish you could have taken back and done in that moment because you were just so caught up on your thoughts and how you felt in that moment. Yeah. It comes back and it bites you in the behind. And I feel like he got a good taste of that, but I really do sincerely think that he's very, very sorry.
Absolutely, because I to sum it up, when you act in the heat of something happening, and it feels good, when you react in a certain way, like, okay, it felt like good. I felt validated. I felt vindicated when I did this. Right. But then in the long term, in the long run, when you have time to really, like I said, process it and digest it, it really made that man's stomach hurt. Like, yeah.
Oh, I bet you he felt that as soon as he did it. Even when he got up there and he made that speech. That's why he was so emotional. Yeah.
Because he was crying, because you saw Denzel Washington coming up to him and some other people talking to him.
Yeah. That's why I feel like he was so emotional. It wasn't because he was up there giving that speech. I feel like the emotion behind like what he had just done had started setting in. And then he gave that speech and it was just like it was all coming out all at one time. Only he wasn't saying like what his heart was feeling from that pain.
In particularly that, yeah.
That incident in particular. Yeah.
Like, but you can still see the emotion.
Absolutely.
Still
I feel like
running wild.
That's why he got up there and cried like that. I feel like he said what he said, he meant what he said, but he cried like that because the emotion was running really, really deep in him. He was really thinking about it. And it was heavy on his head. Like
but for, at the end of the day, like I would want to like protect you and defend you to the highest order too, but like I just feel like he just crossed the line. But I understand it when you're trying to defend somebody that you love, to the ends of the earth. You know? Like,
not to mention, like, it wasn't too much. I don't know how many months before that the whole thing came out with Jada confessing to him. So he running through a lot. The entanglement got him all messed up a little bit too. So hey, you don't know what that man is going through. Yeah. Like how he feeling about a lot of things. And so, like I said, the fact that he touched on Jada and made that comment, it probably just kind of sent him over the edge. It was just enough to just push him over.
Yeah, but I appreciate him, coming out and making this public apology, because he didn't have to do this publicly. You know what I mean?
No,
he could have did it behind closed doors. So
yeah.
I definitely respect Will for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So y'all let us know what y'all think about this. Was it sincere? Did y'all believe that it was sincere from him? I personally did, but
me too.
If y'all enjoyed this, be sure you give us a big thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, smash the notification bell, join the family, and if ain't nobody else told you, I love you. And we're gonna see y'all in the next video, y'all.